I'm starting it. Okay, to be mindful of time, we are at the top of the hour, so we're going to get started here. Welcome to the New Jersey Association for College Admission Counseling, a virtual college fair. We're having a panel for this session. So you have an expert here who is going to talk on a specific topic. But first, before we get to that, a few things that I'm going to share with you now, but I will be sure to put into the chat as well. Your camera and microphone are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you. So if you have a question, you have to use that Q&A button that's at the top or bottom of your screen. That is the only way that you'll be able to ask a question during this 45-minute session. So that Q&A button is very important. We definitely encourage you at any time throughout the session to throw in a question there, and he can get to it throughout or at the very end. So just put it in there whenever you're ready to ask a question. Highly encouraged. Sign up for more sessions, the same place that you signed up for this one. You can definitely check the website. We also have a recording of this and all other sessions available at strivescan.com/New Jersey. So this panel is going to be about effective use of the college university tour. And so I am going to stop sharing my screen and throw it over to our expert.
Great. Great. Thank you so much. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to get to the right page. All right. Here we go. We're going to share. And we're going to present. There we go. All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here for this quick presentation about, kind of making the most out of a college or university visit. My name is Jose Vallejo. I am an admissions counselor from Ramapo College of New Jersey. So in this presentation, we're going to talk a little bit about kind of what's the purpose of the visit, and then also kind of giving you some tips and tricks to kind of make the most out of that college visit. Before we start, just going to do a quick one-slider about our institution, Ramapo College, again, located up in northern New Jersey. We're one of the smaller four-year public colleges in the state. We are a test-optional institution with more than 100 majors and minors that students can choose from. And of course, we have tons of opportunities for you to visit our campus. We do weekday and Saturday tours, as well as virtual tours on our website. And you can get more information online by going to ramapo.edu/learn. And again, one of the great things about today, with all of these opportunities to kind of visit college campuses and kind of go, particularly now that so many colleges are reopening to be able to provide you in person, is that this is exciting times for college visits, because you can visit colleges all over the world through virtual visits and whatnot. This presentation is going to really focus on, again, as I said, just kind of, how to make the most out of your time when you go visit a school, whether that visit is for a daily tour, a weekend tour, an open house, once you're admitted, an admitted student day, just things that you can kind of do to kind of capture that moment for you, so it can help you afterwards when you're kind of trying to figure all out what to do next. So of course, the purpose of college visits is really simple. It's a great way to get a firsthand view of what exactly that campus looks like. Oftentimes we get, we get bombarded with information about different colleges and brochures and digital brochures and whatnot. And of course, everything looks wonderful and great. But none of that really kind of gives you that kind of what it feels like to be on that campus, right? So of course, doing the actual visit is a great way to kind of get that sense under your belt. It's also great opportunities to kind of get some of your questions answered. Of course, we can Google almost anything right now, right? But sometimes we can't really get the answers that we need because we have such very specific questions. So visiting a college campus in person gives you that opportunity to be able to engage with that college and really kind of ask them those tough questions that you want to know, such as, what exactly are the criteria for, for merit scholarships, or, when you're reviewing my application, what is it that you're going to look for? Are the tater tots really that good in the cafeteria, right? All those really important questions you want to kind of ask. Visiting the colleges kind of gives you that opportunity to ask. It also helps with applying. Many colleges do keep track of how many points of contact they have, with a student. So, this kind of information really kind of helps generate, what's called, the level of interest that student may have on the institution. Other ways that this helps with applying is you can get information about the admissions process for that institution. What applications are they really asking for? Can you use the Common App? Do you have to specifically use their own web application? Do they, are they old school and have a paper application? Like, all of these kind of questions can help you with the application process. Of course, the most important thing when you visit a college campus is just being physically on that campus, walking around, allowing to see what it feels like for you to be on that campus. I've been doing college admissions for about 16 years. And in that time, I've heard a lot of, I'm going to classify them as horror stories about, students that, never really visited a college campus for various reasons, right? Maybe they were applying to a college out of state, so they weren't able to physically visit until they were admitted, they deposited, and they were moving in, and that doesn't always turn out the way that they want it to turn out. We in August, we get a number of applications that come into our school because students never visited the school that they deposited at. They moved in for orientation and realized this is not the campus for me. This is not at all what I thought it would be. It's not what I was picturing in my head. I don't feel like I'm connecting here. And that's really kind of a harsh position to be in when you're trying to start your college career. So, we definitely encourage our students to physically visit college campuses, even if you've been to that campus before because you have an older sibling or a relative that was visiting and you kind of tagged along, make it your experience. So definitely, the key here with the visit is getting that sense of what it feels like for you to be on that campus. And that's, and that can be done in any number of ways. Yes, for many of you, you set foot on a college campus and you definitely will get that feeling, right? My niece, when she toured a college here in South New Jersey, and she said the minute I set foot on that campus, I was like, nope, not for me. She didn't even ended up doing the tour because she just had such a, she just didn't feel that it was for her. And that kind of helped her because now that was a school that she knew there was no sense in applying to here. Whereas the school that she ended up going to, the minute she set foot on that campus, she was like, I'm home. I wanted to know what's going to happen that weekend on campus. And, she really kind of connected with her college campus. And of course, there are definitely many ways of making the most of your campus visit. There's things that you can do beforehand, the things that you can do also, during the event, and things that you can do afterwards. And all of those things kind of help make your decisions down the line something really easy to kind of, it makes it a bit easier for you. Because at the end of the day, when you think about it, you're going to spend 4 years at this institution. And colleges aren't cheap. So, kind of really doing the work beforehand and really kind of taking into account everything that has to do with that experience, right? What it feels like to be on the campus, what resources are there available on that campus? I love to do spin, do they offer spin classes or other cardio classes of that nature that, I know that I'm going to be able to take advantage of in my free time? All of those things are great. Obviously, we want to make sure that the college has the program that you want to go into, has the career planning options available for you, so you can transition from school to work once you complete your degree. that it's going to have opportunities for you to maybe do advanced education in such as a graduate program or even a doctoral program. So all of those things are going to be part of the equation, but you can get a lot of that information done on a campus visit. So let's start talking about some of these points on how to make the most of your campus visit. So beforehand, we do, of course, have to plan, right? In order to make the most of this opportunity, we want to make sure that we are making a plan for ourselves. Now, I know that some of you might be thinking, I'm not a big planner. I don't really plan. I feel you. I'm not a planner at all. When I did my campus visit, I just kind of went, nope, I'm going to go. And that was it. I got in the car and I drove up to my college and I walked around and I said, sold. But while that can work for a number of people, oftentimes in order to make the most out of a visit, it's kind of important to make a plan of what you're going to do when you get there, right? The first thing is, of course, starting early. Obviously, colleges are open year round for campus tours, different visit events and that kind of stuff. But kind of planning these things out early. If you're a high school first year, freshman, sophomore, or junior, maybe start off by going, when you go on vacation with your family or you go somewhere with your family, if there's a college in the area, stop by and do a visit. If you're a senior, you want to kind of try to make the time to to schedule the visits. Most seniors, by the time that they start senior year, they already have a kind of a list going, whether official or unofficial, but they have a list of schools that they're pretty sure they're going to be applying to. I always say that if those schools are within a 3-hour drive, you should make the attempt to do and visit. Do you have to visit all of them? No. But the ones that on your list that you're really looking at and they're saying, saying these are definitely like my top 5. And they're close to home. They're within a 2 to 3 hour drive from home. I'm going to try to make as time to visit these schools. Those are great things to kind of help plan that out and putting those on a calendar. Of course, if you're not driving, if you don't have your own transportation and you're not driving yet, you also want to make sure that whoever's going to help bring you to that campus is going to have the time jotted down on their calendars as well, right? So we also kind of, part of the early planning is being able to coordinate all of those things, right? You want to make a plan for the visit. Again, using my own personal example and just kind of, I went in and I just said, I'm here for a tour, and off I went. Looking back at it now, that was a missed opportunity for me to kind of be able to kind of think about like, well, what is it that I really need to know? And what do I want to get out of this visit, right? So making a plan of that is a great way to kind of keep yourself organized, right? So thinking about, obviously, I want to see the campus. Obviously, I want to ask questions, right? But, that plan can include so many other things, particularly if you're looking for campuses that you're not going to be commuting to. Right? If you're choosing to live on that college campus, then making the plan and adding some other things to it, such as exploring the surrounding areas, sampling the food in the area. All of those things are going to be things that you can kind of put into a plan to kind of help you organize that visit when it's time to go over to that school, right? And again, checking out the area around the campus, not just the campus itself. Particularly, again, if you're living at that campus, you kind of want to know where the things are around the neighborhood. Is there a downtown or a shopping area by the school, right? Do they have, is there recreational stuff around there? Where's the closest Dunkin' or Starbucks? These are really important things to kind of be mindful about, when you're going to college. So, adding some of these other things to explore what's around the campus that you're visiting is also kind of a great thing to add to your plan, and also kind of help build a better understanding of what that community is like. At every campus tour that we do on our campus, it never fails that we do a welcome. So we do a brief welcome and introduction of the institution to everybody on the tour, and then we we say, they go off on tours and we tell them we'll be here at the end to answer questions. And we have some students that come to us with a lot of questions. They really kind of they did their homework about questions. Other students are like, no, but I don't have any questions. But then like 3 hours later, they're emailing or contacting our office because, oh, I remembered I did have questions, which is, of course, is perfectly fine. But maybe jotting down your questions to kind of, what is it that you want to specifically ask, right? What do you want to know about the application process, deadlines, the major classes, that kind of stuff? Jotting all of those things down is a great way to kind of go through the tour and be an active participant in your tour, right? Because now you'll be able to kind of check off things that you really wanted to know and kind of jot down that information as it comes to you, either on the tour or through a welcome presentation or the Q&A with the admissions counselor afterwards. So, again, trying to prepare for the visit before the actual visit. Oh, the wonders of technology that I can't make the slide go. There we go. So now during your campus visit, obviously there are technical things, right? You sign up for a campus tour, you're going to be getting some kind of communication as to, what you're doing, right? Where should you park? Where should you park? Where you're going to go to check in, so on and so forth. Today, with so many colleges reopening, some colleges may be sending you, health screening forms that you have to complete before you come onto campus, right? You might have some additional communication in your confirmation email about thinking about what you are, what are the things you have to keep in mind, right? Do you have to wear masks on campus during the tour or only during when you go into the buildings? That kind of stuff, right? So all of that information you're going to get as you're getting close to the visit. But during the visit, and once you check in, things that you can do to really kind of bring that campus to life for you down the line. Use your tech. My goodness, we are bombarded with so much technology at our fingertips right now. I mean, we are doing this presentation to a vast audience through a Zoom application. So, again, using your technology that you have with you to really kind of document your time on campus, right? So taking pictures of the campus, like you saw something that you really liked on that campus, boom, take a picture of it. It's recorded on your phone, right? Selfies, of course, are the best, right? Because in a selfie, you can capture the emotion that you're having at that particular moment, right? So definitely being able to take selfies of yourself during that time period and kind of creating a catalog of images of that visit. Really capturing those moments, those special moments on the tour where you were able to kind of, say like, wow, that was really cool that they were talking about, how that I'm totally going to make this up, right? Like this particular icon and how it chimes and, the clock on campus or so on and so forth, whatever that is for you, documenting these things are going to help you remember what that experience was like for you to be on that campus when you leave that visit. So those are great ways to kind of start building out those memories and kind of documenting all of this information. Continuing on the same vein here, you also want to document the actual feelings that you're having, right? You want to document all of it, right? One great tip that I've shared with students over the years is use your phones. Pretend you are a cast member of the next Real World. I'm probably dating myself with that reference, but doing a kind of a video of yourself right as you're leaving campus, right? So if you're, as long as you're not driving, in the car as you're pulling away from campus, do a quick video and kind of capture, this is my experience right now. This is what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. Oh my God, I'm excited. It kind of fell below what I was expecting. So whatever that is, you kind of want to document that initial response as you're leaving, okay? Because that's going to be some of the most organic, if you will, or raw kind of feelings that you're having about that experience, right? Record it, put it away. Don't look at it, just put it away, right? A couple of days later, record another video, right? This time, now you've had time to kind of sit with that experience and mull it over in your head So now film another quick video, right? What were the highlights and lowlights of that visit from what you recall at that point? What stuck with you the most, right? That's typically what you're going to be recording in that second video. Now you have a great opportunity to kind of go back to that and kind of watch both videos and be like, oh my God, yeah, this was really great. Well, maybe we'll skip this one right now, right? So again, taking your technology to make the visit last longer than the 75 to 90 minutes that the tour is actually going to be. That's really going to be important, because now if it's all recorded on your phone and in your cloud services, now you have a document that you can go back to refer, right? So now, like, oh, what was that important deadline I need to remember? Oh, how is it that I apply for that scholarship? Oh yeah, it's in the video, it's in the notes that I took. So now you can go back to it at any time to kind of get that information back. Okay. Social media has definitely become the new way that we're all communicating. Everybody that we know has some form of social media profile out there. For some of us, we're really up to date with our social media. For others, we just kind of casually browse through it. Pretty much every college is going to have some form of social media platform. Most likely, we all have an Instagram account that you could follow. Right? We have hashtags that you can use. My goodness, if you look at the Ramapo Admissions Instagram page, you're going to see that we have tons of different hashtags that we use throughout to communicate. And then kind of clicking on through those hashtags, you kind of get so much information about just our institution. So imagine what you can do when you do that with other schools that you're looking at as well. As you're leaving campus, after you've done your video, start looking for us on social media, right? Give us a like. If you really enjoyed that campus tour, give that campus, give that college or university a like on their Instagram account, right? Post to their Instagram account or Twitter accounts or Facebook for, if you're using Facebook, right? But whatever that is, kind of connect with us on social media as well. I know for many colleges, including ours, we do a lot of work on our social media. Colleges will run a lot of opportunities, to kind of follow students throughout the day, or have students answer your questions live, or an admissions counselor to kind of do a kind of quick reminder about application deadlines and so on and so forth, right? So, social media is another great tool to have to kind of really capture a lot of information. Getting used to that, using the hashtags. You had a great picture, you took that awesome selfie. Maybe you took a selfie with the mascot of that school, and a couple of students, somebody that you knew. You took a great selfie, post that on social media and use the hashtags to connect those institutions with that image on your Instagram, Twitter, or whatnot. Again, kind of creating this kind of culture and of communication. But more importantly, colleges definitely are looking through social media as well, and kind of, particularly when we are actively doing kind of when we're doing programming or kind of activities on social media. We love kind of seeing that we have students that are following us and they're applying, and we would communicate. And you never know what those things are going to open up for you once you go to that campus. Right now on our in our office, one of our students, who has a huge following on social media, is able to kind of get a part-time job working in our marketing department. That really kind of opened up an opportunity for them, because they had kind of this collection of portfolio of material that they've been doing. So again, using the technology that you have to really kind of make these kind of visits come to life and also benefit you down the line. One day I'm going to remember that. I have to use the mouse. Of course, during the visit, you are definitely going to want to connect with your admissions counselor. In most schools, you're going to see that there's going to be a staff person that is assigned to your region, right? If you're applying to your in-state schools, you'll have a counselor that is assigned to your county. In some cases, you might have two, right? Because maybe that's a huge county. But whatever the case may be, you definitely want to make sure that you connect with your admissions counselor. Your counselor is going to be the person that's going to be your advocate throughout this entire process at the institution. For me, I always try to make it so the students that I'm working with, they know that they can reach me through an email. They have my office number, they have my text number. So if they have questions, they can just send me a text, and I'm getting back to them on text, because again, in the age that we live in, technology, text messaging has kind of become a more common use throughout this process, right? Because we want to get information as quickly as possible, in as few characters as possible. So, connecting with your admissions counselor is going to be great. The students that I've had the most success with not only working with them, getting them admitted to Ramapo and kind of getting them through, through the enrollment process and then throughout their 4 years, are those students that I really kind of developed relationships with as early as their senior year in high school, where we kind of communicated. I have a number of students that have graduated from Ramapo that I am still in touch with, and I met them when they were seniors in high school. And some of them are really close friends. So, again, it's this kind of way of connecting with an admissions counselor to really kind of stand out, if you will, right? Having them remember who you are, having them, understand like, oh, this is why, there's this kind of blip in the grades in this course, right? Giving them that opportunity to work with you really kind of helps with this process as well. And visiting on a campus tour, oftentimes your counselor will be there to help answer questions. So really kind of getting that kind of that FaceTime with that person is going to be helpful. And if they're not there, definitely make sure that you get a business card or a way to connect with them before you leave the campus, so you can kind of start communicating with them. There we go. So as we're kind of coming close, and I'm gonna open this up later in a few minutes to kind of talk about, answer questions that you have about the process of visiting campuses or other things that you want to ask about. But do understand that, your campus visit isn't a one-time thing, right? You can do more than one visit. We have definitely had students that have done a couple of campus tours even before they've applied, for the simple fact that, the first time that they came to campus, there was stuff that they missed, and then they want to go back to kind of get to try to see if they can capture that. Some students just kind of say, I want to do the tour today, and then maybe, I'm going to do it on a different day just to see if I get a different experience. So whatever the reasons are, definitely know that you can definitely do more than one visit, right? During this visit, if you're dedicating the time to kind of visit this college, a college campus, take the time to kind of visit the surrounding communities around the campus. Kind of find out where's the popular hangout. A great way of doing this, particularly if you're not familiar with the area, is asking your tour guides. Most often, these tour guides are paid student workers that are trained to give thorough, informative campus tours and share their experiences while they're on that campus. But definitely asking them, like, hey, so what do you do off campus? Like, what's a great place to hang out here after, that's off campus, right? Asking students and even the admission staff, what's a great place to have lunch here? My rule is always find a place off campus to have lunch, and definitely make sure that you have lunch on campus when you come for the visit, right? Side note, sampling the food at the colleges that you are visiting is a great way to really kind of understand like what that's going to look like for you in 4 years, all right? So you want to make sure that you kind of take advantage of the time that you have and really get the most out of that visit. So visiting the surrounding communities, asking about other visiting opportunities, right? Obviously, as colleges are reopening now after being virtual for the last year due to the COVID pandemic, certain visit opportunities may no longer be possible. But there are so many different ways that you can visit campuses. I know on our campus in the past, we've done opportunities where admitted students can spend the day with an ambassador, particularly an ambassador that is in the major that they were admitted to. So this way they can kind of have that feel like what are classes going to be like in this major. Some schools, in the past have done opportunities where you can stay on campus, right? But again, connecting with your admissions counselor, asking them what are these other visit opportunities that you will have for me at your campus is a great way to see what else is available for you. Whether that visit is an in-person visit or a virtual one, you kind of want to make sure that you are asking some of these questions to see other opportunities to get a different aspect of campus. If you're an athlete, contacting the coach of the sport that you may be interested in playing on that school, can lead to other types of visits that are specific to your sports team, but giving you a different view of that college campus. So again, always want to kind of ask those questions to the folks that you are seeing on these tours. My last thing here, and then I'm going to open this up to questions, is really about having fun with the process, right? And I'm sure you may have heard this in other presentations about the application process, but during your tour, you're going to want to make sure that you're having fun, because this is potentially the school that you're going to be at for 4 years. So you have fun with it, college students, I'm going to share some information with you. College students are can be very chatty, so even asking, as you're kind of walking about, asking, have lunch at the cafeteria, ask a student, hey, can I ask you a question? For those of you that are going to visit campuses where you have friends that are going there or relatives, ask them to say, hey, I'm going to do this tour. I'm going to use my school here. I'm going to do this tour of Ramapo. Can you and I kind of connect after the tour and give me your version of the tour? What is the things that I should know about your school, right? So now you're getting more out of that time that you've dedicated to the visit, but you're really kind of going to get more information out of it. Okay. But definitely have fun with this process. I know that as seniors, if you're seniors right now and you're going through this process now, I know that at this moment in time, it gets very stressful. But if you take a moment to kind of take a step back, look at the bigger picture, and then kind of try to have fun with this process, whether it's the campus tour, whether it's an on-campus interview, whether it's simply going through the admissions process and applying to that college, having fun with the process is going to help lessen that stress and anxiety. And know that, you're going to have a world of support to help you through this process. Again, the admissions staff at the colleges that you're applying to are going to be there to help you through your admissions process. Your campus tour guides, while they're giving you the tour, are there to help you better understand why they chose to go to that school, right? And what makes it such a great place to be at. So that is part of the campus tour. So have fun with it. Ask the questions that you want to know about during your tour, and kind of start building that folder of information. So when you go back, you can kind of compare notes, but also kind of help you with the decision-making processes towards the end of this cycle. So at this point, I'm going to open it up to see if there's any questions. I'm going to check the chat here. And of course, feel free to type in your questions in the chat that is set up here. But, again, all of these are our processes. So please feel free to use the chat to kind of ask any questions you may have.
Yeah, so if they would like to ask any question, the Q&A button that's at the bottom or top of your screen, depending on your layout, is the best way to ask any questions. And while we're letting some time for that to happen, if there are any questions, just want to thank you for joining us. When you close this window, after everything is done, you are going to be asked a 5-question survey. We appreciate any feedback that you could give, and we encourage you to check back the schedule to sign up for more sessions. You'll be able to find this session along with a bunch of others at StriveScan's website /New Jersey for this particular college fair. So I don't see any questions as of now. I would definitely, if I were you, throw your contact information into that chat so folks can contact you privately if they'd like to. Otherwise, we just really thank you for being here, and we certainly thank you for your expertise. And we thank everyone who is out there watching as well. Do you have anything else you would like to plug before we wrap up?
Sure. The only thing I'm going to say is thank you so much for attending this presentation. I am adding my contact information in the chat right now for everybody. So if you do have questions, you want to email me, feel free to do so. One of the things that I am noticing here is that we do have a number of parents that are listening in onto this presentation. So, just to address the parents, again, your students are going to be visiting campuses and they're going to have their own experiences. You too are going to have your own experience visiting campus. So don't forget that you can also ask us questions about the things that you want to know that's going to help your student down the line. We are more than happy to help answer those questions to help you see why we could be a good fit for your students. So thank you again, everybody, for joining us tonight. My contact information is in the chat there, so feel free to take a screenshot of that before you log out, and hoping everyone has a great night.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.